Hello, hello. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Hello, hey guys, we are
Hello.
here. We are here, and everyone, come on in because we are here. We are Silver Sisters Speak, and we have been waiting for this opportunity to speak to you today. And what we believe is love is possible 40, 50, 60, 70, and beyond. Woo! So, yeah, that's what we believe. We believe that love is possible. And we really like talking about all things love, dating, marriage, singlehood. We love all things of the heart. And today we have a special topic. And what we do is we don't claim to be experts, but we know a lot of stuff because we have a lot of experience. And we decided to put that together so that we could share with other people and perhaps motivate and inspire other people on the subject of love. And we're going to talk today. Our subject is mature dating. Are you the red flag? Let's think about that now. Are you the red flag? And first of all, we're going to start with Adelina, Fly Granny. You may know her as Fly Granny BK. So, Adelina, take it away.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Adelina Fly Granny BK. I'm a pro aging advocate, inspiring folks to live vibrantly in every area of life, from mature dating to fashion to lifestyle. And I'm here with my sisters to inspire you. And I love this topic. Are you the red flag? Because I think in my dating history, I was the red flag in, maybe a couple of cases. So I want to approach it from the topic of, are you too needy? Are you the red flag because you're too needy? Um, Here are a couple of things to look out for. Number one, being so needy that you constantly need like reassurance. Neediness can manifest in the form of seeking, constant validation from your partner, constantly asking if they love you, um, seeking validation for your actions, um, finding about their commitment. I'm talking like early on, you don't want to get too deep in that. Occasional reassurance is normal and healthy in a relationship. But if it's too excessive, you can put somebody off and it could be draining for both partners. So, that's a form of being needy. Another thing is being over dependent on your partner. It could show up, you want your partner to be everything emotionally, physically, just everything for all your needs. And we all know that nobody can do that. Not even, you know, we can't even be everything for our partners. So it's kind of unfair to be that needy. Um, and then when you do that, you kind of neglect yourself, your own personal development. Um, but relying too heavily on your partner it just creates an imbalance, and it's just straining. And let's be real, it's just not realistic to think that anybody can meet all of your needs or anybody else's needs. Another thing is fearing abandonment. Um, some people are real needy because they want to hold somebody so close. They're always afraid somebody's going to leave them. It leads to like a clingy behavior. And it's just not fun being around somebody so clingy. It's like a little desperation uh, in that behavior, constantly checking on your partner, like where they are, worried about their phone, who they're talking to. Now, if they're on the phone all the time, I'd be suspicious too. But just be realistic, and being anxious when they spend time apart from you, and just letting them know it's kind of off-putting, being overly jealous, unreasonably. Of course, there are reasons, and we all know that there are reasons to suspect, but some people are just jealous of everybody, and friends, and it's just an uncomfortable situation. You want to be close. Uh, you don't want to be alone, but fearing losing your partner's affection, you can become controlling or suffocating, and that can end a relationship. So, those are a couple of things. And then one of the things for me, are you too available? I remember dating a guy that I cared for a lot. Um, but I saw him like once every 2 to 3 weeks. And, I wanted to see him more, but I was just so available. I was just always waiting for him to. We spoke in between, but I only saw him every 2 to 3 weeks. So apparently he was seeing other women too, but I would wait for him to call me. And when you're in your early 20s, 2 to 3 weeks is a long time, but I would always be available. But now, I was really digging him. So, of course, I was always ready to jump. Whenever he called me, I was ready to jump and go out with him. So, what happened? Like my sister Tracy always says, you kind of train people how to treat you. And I was always available. So I kind of trained him that he could just call me whenever and I would be available. But now I understand that men, they like the chase. So there's nothing wrong with not being so readily available. I mean, you don't want to blow your chances, but it's okay to be a little busy, or if he hasn't called you in 2 or 3 weeks and wants to go out today, how about tomorrow? Or I have something to do, maybe we can you know, hook up then. Um, the less available you are, the more, I think, the more desirable you are. Let me know what you think, ladies. Just like he was doing to me, I didn't see him. So, I didn't see him very often. So I was like, oh, I'd like to see him more. So, we can practice some of that, in a nice kind of way. And also validating yourself and your time, and having him respect your time. You're worth it, right? You have a life, and you're not just sitting around waiting for him to get around to calling you when he feels like it. So now I know better. So these are just a few red flags, and let me know what you think. I just think that those are a few things that are like a little needy behavior. And, I've learned through the years. And I'm tossing it to you, Tracy. What are your thoughts?
Thank you so much. I love the part about allowing a little bit of space. They say that absence makes the heart grow fonder. Why not have it work both ways? It's not about playing games, but to your point, respecting someone's time. Hi, by the way, everybody. I am Tracy Byerly, and I am unapologetically gray. I help women and men to create a confident, prosperous attitude about growing older so they can master the art of aging unapologetically. I'm coming to you today about staying away from projects, and I'm not talking about locations. I am talking about making somebody a project and you being somebody's project. Hi, I was that red flag on both situations, so I can talk about what I know because I was the red flag. Let's start with making him a project. It's one of those things where I was young and I had the job, the home, the car, the money, the freedom, and oh my gosh, I'm so tired of being hurt and being dogged. And so I am going to build a man. I'm going to find somebody, because little did I know how low my self-esteem was. I had to go out and get somebody who was a little bit worse than me, and I was going to make him like my daddy who took good care of me because I wanted somebody to match where I was. Well, the problem with that is, and you guys have heard me say this in prior, and if you haven't watched our priors, please watch our priors. You don't attract where you want to be, you attract where you are. Mm-hmm. What I was focused on was what I was lacking, and I was also focusing on, I don't want to be hurt. Well, the problem with that is you're going to attract one of three types of guys when you're being this kind of red flag. First of all, you're going to attract one who is basically going to rob you, take everything that they can get from you because they're takers, and then they're going to shoot the deuces. Or you are going to get a mama's boy who may have either, the mama's boy who craves the nurturing, or let me add this one on, you may get a man who has a severe love-hate with his mother, but still craves that nurturing, and then he's going to rebel against you at every single turn. Or you are going to attract a good man who may be still finding his way, and he doesn't need a mom. He doesn't need a God figure in his life. He just wants a good woman who is going to basically support him on his journey. We've heard that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I love that one that I recently heard. You cannot make them thirst. Mm-hmm. I was the one that would pick up the ones that didn't want my help, but I was going to be that help. First of all, if they don't want the help, or you want things for them more than they want it, you are a red flag for trying to push to make somebody be somewhere that they don't want to be, or it's them. Mm-hmm. Then my self-esteem plummeted even more, because it's like, and me with my bleeding heart, still focusing on, don't want to be hurt, what I'm lacking. Now I'm desperate. And if you're listening to someone and they are saying things about you, classic case in point, I don't know why I'm with you anyway. You don't add up on paper. Your hair's outdated, your clothes are outdated, and your child is a high maintenance, spoiled brat. But I love you and I want you to see that I can be all these things. And I'm trying so hard. Guess what? Red flag. If someone is saying something, you better listen to what they're saying. Number one. Number two, we attract where we are. Mm-hmm. And I would say to you, if this is what you're picking up, take yourself off the market, because this does not work for you. You will never be enough. Right. Until you're enough in your own eyes. When you begin to see your value, and the only way you're really going to be able to see that is if you get some deliverance, healing, therapy by a qualified person, so that you can begin to learn you and love you. That's what I had to do. And when I begin to see value in myself and love myself and learn myself, love begets more love. The best gift that you can give to yourself is to be healed. Then you become a better gift to someone, and you will choose much wiser. Sheila, take it away.
Wow, yeah. That's the key. Great. Is you want to be healed. If you still have the Band-Aid on and it's been a couple of weeks, you're not going to get healed. Any doctor tell you to take that Band-Aid off, give it some air so that you can be healed. And we know, are you the person that always is wondering, why is this happening to me? Why am I attracting the same type of person? Is something wrong with me?
Mm.
And then you're trying to figure out what's wrong with the other person. And I'm not just talking to women, because I've met some men that have this same issue. And you always say, well, what's wrong with him, or what's wrong with her? And they this and they that and they that. But have you ever stopped to think about your part in the relationship? Are you the common denominator? And the
Yeah.
common denominator in a relationship is a person that follows the same pattern or has the same type of relationships over and over again. It's just not adding up to you, because you're a good woman. You all of that. You work every day. You take care of your home. You take care of your family. But why are you attracting the same kind of people? There was a time, I had a season where that was me. It was truly me. And I call it my blue shirt season. And and it was like, seemed like everyone I was in a relationship with, but wasn't dating, these were actually long-term relationships, were police officers. But I'm just going to call, for the purpose of this, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling or make people think I'm talking about them. But blue shirts was not for me, and that's what I'll call it, blue shirts. And and see, what we do is we get engrossed in the charm, the looks, and we think it's security. In my case, because they had that kind of position, and so we get engrossed in that, and sometimes, and more than often, we ignore the red flags. And these were long-term relationships, but basically were not good relationships, because you also have again, I'm not saying everyone is like this, but you have a pattern of womenizing, and you have a job where women, they like that. They like the security of a blue shirt. And then, not to mention, if it's a handsome blue shirt and a charming blue shirt, and they take you out and this and that and all of that, and you get hung up in that. You get hung up in those kind of things. But before you know it, you're going from one blue shirt to another blue shirt to another blue shirt. And one day, in my case, I woke up and I said, what is your problem, girl? You have more value than this. You don't need to be dealing with all this drama. And when we're young, and a lot of times when we're old, because I talk to a lot of people behind the scenes and DMs and everything, we make those type of decisions. And those decisions are not in our best interest. So we have to wake up and say, okay, is this for me? And in my case, I asked God, I said, reveal to me what it is that I need to be doing to not have these type of relationships. And I'm gonna put God in everything, because that's my go-to. And when I listened to God, he said, you don't need any relationship right now. So that was the end. And what made me really know that that was the end of those type of relationships. And one was an abusive relationship that I had actual business with. And that was the hardest thing, because I had to regroup my business and start all over again and everything. But what really made me know that I was finished, I'm at a gas station and I see a blue shirt, and the blue shirt tries to talk to me. And I said, excuse me, but I don't date blue shirts. And he looked at me, and it wasn't like he was mad. He was like shocked. And he was shocked because he was a good looking guy, and he's not used to women saying that. But I knew that I was free, because I didn't date anymore for a couple of years. So you have to learn from those kind of lessons. And as I said in the beginning, those are just wounds that we have. the reason why we keep going to the same pattern, the reason why we still keep going to the same pattern, because we are the common denominator. As you guys said, we keep accepting those kind of things. And until I took off the Band-Aid and I saw that I could heal better without the Band-Aid, you're still going to be in the same position. You're not going anywhere. So the things that I think you have to do is you have to stop blaming the other person. That's the first thing you have to do, is stop blaming the other person. Now, you might have to go back through those things just so that you can see where you made a mistake at and where you could have done better. And I'm not saying that some red flags, they might work out for you, but you have to be able to communicate, and the person has to communicate with you, and you all have to at some point be on the same page. And if you're not on the same page, if you're in a marriage, it's a little different. You got to go through a lot more. But if you know before you get to that point, don't go there. And the other thing is, like, stop feeling like you're the victim. You're not the victim unless you allow yourself to be the victim. So if you allow yourself to be the victim, then that's what you're gonna do. And you can't be, well, it's me. Like Tracy said, take me back. Take me any way you want me. I'll be there anytime you want me. And then, like Adelina said, I'm needy. I need you. You waiting on them to call. And then some people wind up waiting away their 20s and waiting away their 30s. The next thing you look up, you're 40 and you're 50 and you've never had a good relationship. And in some cases, you never had been married, or you never had a good relationship, or you just never date, and we going to talk about that even more. But the other thing is your mood changes. You're in a bad mood for everyone. You really not good at work, not good at home, because you've allowed those things to come into your spirit and you haven't removed them. You haven't taken off the Band-Aid. And then you look for other people for advice. And other people can't give you advice unless they've been successful in their relationships and in their marriages. But then that's when Tracy said you need to go seek spiritual and professional help. So we have to just be responsible for our own self and recognize that we do have values, and we have to normalize our life. We have to normalize our dating life. We have to normalize our marriage, and you have to learn what to accept and what not to accept, and what you will accept and what not accept. And the things that you want to accept, don't accept them. And you got to learn how to communicate with those people if you want to remain in a relationship. And you have to communicate yourself out of a relationship. And one of the things that I did is I prepared myself to leave the relationship. Because if you prepare yourself, then you know that it's going to be easier than jumping off, and then you still have those feelings. What do you think, Adelina?
Yeah, you definitely have to prepare yourself to get out. But a lot of that is what you said, taking that time to breathe and see where you are, so that you say, oh, this is not working, this isn't for me. And it goes back to that just hanging in there out of desperation, right? Another point that you brought up, Sheila, that I liked was that, we're probably half of the problem, right? Like the other person may have their issues, but yeah, a lot of it is us. And for me, I think I speak for, some women out there. I had my whole other life, and my career was together, but my relationships were a mess. And, I went to a counselor, Tracy, you too. I went to a counselor with my ex-husband at the time. And, he was, and, after our meeting, I met with him alone, and he goes, okay, so you're okay in this area, your career, everything is great, but relationships have been a challenge. And then that's when I took the time to, like you, Sheila, to sit back, reassess, not have any relationships for a while, look back pray, and then I became, content and happy with myself. I didn't need anybody else to complete me. Because when you go into relationships, and we've discussed this before, looking for somebody else to complete you, that's a recipe for disaster, because it just it doesn't exist. You have to be two complete people, or as close to complete, in order for it to work together.
Right. And one of the first things I did once I got my freedom, and I mean freedom for myself, I took a vacation by myself. I used to think I needed to have somebody take me on vacation. That's how, what, maybe, I don't know what to call it, but that's how my mindset was, because I'm still looking at that security thing. And the first thing I did was buy me a ticket. I went from Chicago to San Francisco, from San Francisco to LA, had a ball, and I never looked back.
Right.
So you have to find that point of where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right.
That part. And also really taking ownership for where you are. We really can't put it on other people, as both of you basically have alluded to, because at that point, instead of us taking ownership, it's almost like we allow them to become God in our lives, to dictate. And if they have that much power over you,
right,
they have that much power over you where you're jumping at every turn, and you're not functioning for you, that's not a red flag for them. I go back to us being red flags, yes, but being red flags to ourselves, because at the end of the day, relationships start with us. If we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, if we don't truly love ourselves, we can't expect somebody else to take the burden to love us better than we love ourselves.
True.
That's the biggest thing. Truth be told, that is the root of many of us being red flags, is that we don't have a good enough relationship with ourselves. And I'm not talking about all of this out here. I'm talking about the inner essence, men and women. That's where it starts.
Wow. I love it. I love it. And, one of the things that we need to be is self-sufficient. So if you're self-sufficient, you don't have to worry about being needy, because you have your own life. And so it's time, I think it's time that what do? They take the white rag and wave it and surrender. Surrender, y'all. Come on. Surrender to self, surrender to self. And we wouldn't say these things if we had not. We're saying what we've been through, and we don't have a problem with revealing those kind of things, because we're in a different place. And so when you're in a different place, you could talk about those things. And now I can look back and I said, well, whatever. And then I can laugh, because I thank God for the growth and where I am now. So we really have. I think that's a good thing to talk about, those red flags. So do you have any? In our closing, do you have any last words to leave, Tracy?
First of all, I did see where someone did have a question about therapy. What kind of therapist do they need? And this is going to be real broad, but I'm going to say DM, me, any one of us, I'm sure all of us. It depends on where you are. It depends. I would want to know what happened in your past that led you to this point. You might need a therapist for trauma. If you have a Christian background, you might feel better with that. If you don't, it depends on you and where your past has been and where you want to go, what you want to see. I know that sounds broad, but it is so hard to say without knowing
Not
your
knowing.
guts.
Yeah.
I I do have a degree in social work with an emphasis on mental health. My goal was to be a licensed therapist, but coaching is more fun. But if I'm able to kind of talk to you to see where you're at, I might be able to help recommend what might be the best place.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to share for the person who had a question.
And that's a good point. And someone else was saying about being thirsty, that it's not a good look. I think it was Samantha. It's not a good look to look thirsty. And I talked about it in one of the other podcasts that we did about being the third person. And it's so funny because I saw an ad on something where people were in a roller coaster, and the first two rows of they were all women, but the first two rows they were like yay, and the third row was like this. So don't be, the third row looks thirsty. They look scared, So don't be the third row, and don't look thirsty. Be confident. Always walk with confidence. Even if you're just dying to meet someone, you're going somewhere, you're dying to meet, but still be confident. And don't look thirsty. That is not a good look. And they could tell men, they can sense out thirsty.
Yes, they
You
could
know.
sense the desperation, I
Mhm.
mean, you even see in other women that look desperate. So if we see it,
Mhm.
the guys
Mhm.
at least
Get
see
Yeah.
it.
some help. Get
Mhm.
just please. If you need therapy, get some therapy. If it's not that serious, get you a coach.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
And so one of the things that I neglected to do is to tell people that I am a fitness coach, senior and women's fitness coach, and that involves motivating and inspiring. So if you need to have some motivation and inspiring to get to your next level, I am the trainer who trains the trainer. I am the trainer who trains you to think about the situation, think about how you want to look, think about how you want to feel, and then you could go on to do the other fitness and health things. And I think as well as Adelina talks about aging, I talk about age positivity, and Adelina, that's one of her things, and as well as online dating.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, so you can reach out to all of us for that. And I
Mhm.
just want to say, because I know we do get some younger people that tune in and watch us, I wish that I had somebody telling me this stuff. And I always say that I wish that I had somebody, guiding me, especially in my 20s. Maybe somebody I wasn't listening. But if you're here, but if you're here, and you're listening, really take heed, because we have lived, and, we just want to share some things to save you the heartache. And one thing that Tracy said in an earlier podcast is, your list of your 10, 10, 10. I don't want to get all into it, but that's another thing. Once you have a list of your things that you will not tolerate, then you're not going to let other people walk over you.
Right.
So, that's one of the keys, but that's a whole nother show, a whole nother topic that y'all have to tune
Then
I'll
in.
they can
watch it.
also go back. Yeah, they can also go back and watch our other topics.
Mm-hmm.
They're on all of our social media platforms. So we're on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So you could go back and watch our other topics. And if you have other things that you may want us to bring to light or to discuss, feel free to send that information to us. And
Please.
we thank you for that. And I think if are we, does anyone have anything else to say?
Do you have our social media?
I don't.
No
So but we have it. It's on there. Adelina's at Fly. It's on your face. It's Adelina at Fly Granny
worries.
BK, And you're on all social media platforms as Unapologetically
Unapologetically
Great. And I'm on social media as Sheila's Fit 50 plus. So we look forward to seeing you again. And we've enjoyed this topic, this conversation. And thank you guys for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, let's give a hot second. If you guys can see YouTube, someone has asked how can they follow. If you'll give me a quick moment, I will put, let's see, Sheila's 50, the number.
Sheila's Fit,
Ooh,
FIT.
okay,
50,
I'm doing this as the number 50.
50.
Yes.
Sheila's Fit 50 plus.
And then
I'm putting mine in the
okay. Okay. The Fly Granny.
Fly Granny on YouTube.
Okay.
And at
BK 27.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it comes up as the Fly Granny, but you're right. Fly Granny.
Everybody's is in there. All right. That's on YouTube. We got to take care of real quick. All right. Got it. The Fly Granny. Sorry to hold it up, but
No, that's fine.
Want to know where to follow? I'm
just a
putting it in
newborn
the
babe on this social media, on this premium platform. You know what? I think that we could get this a little better, but I'm a newborn babe. Forgive me.
Nope, you're good. I got you.
Oh, hey, somebody's watching from the UK. Hello,
Hey.
UK, blessed and free. Thanks for
Yes.
joining us.
And 63. All right.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for watching. All right.
Good.
We're good.
And if you missed us, then this will be on our social media platform, so you can go back and see the beginning. Thank you, girls. Thank you, guys. Love you.
Thank you for joining us so much. Watch the replays and comment.
Yes.
And share.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.